Now, are you among the thousands of people who enjoy a night out the dogs? Greyhound racing's big business, of course, and for the most part, a very enjoyable social occasion. But there are claims this morning that dozens of dogs bred here in Nottinghamshire are unaccounted for, and an animal rights pressure group is now demanding answers.
So this concerns a breeder called Peter Harnden, who runs the Salacres racing team based in Ruddington. He's recently been appointed to the Greyhound Board of Great Britain. Rita James is the founder of the organisation Caged, which campaigns against the greyhound racing industry. And she explained why there were questions about what had happened to Mr. Harnden's dogs.
He has been made practitioner director of the Greyhound Board of Great Britain. And a man in his position has this great big question hanging over his head, asking him what's happened to his dogs. We've got a list of 68, but we know that, there will be a lot more. This was just a few that we've kind of picked.
Tell me about these missing dogs then. What are your concerns about what's happened to them?
We would like him to tell us their whereabouts, because these dogs have now stopped racing.
68 dogs. What do you think he might have done with them?
We don't know. We're hoping that, the majority haven't been destroyed. That's what we're hoping. And this is why we're asking them to account for them. Because, we are worried. He's not the only trainer out there with so many dogs. It's questionable about what's happening to all these dogs that are going missing every year. And I think, we have a right to ask the question, and they should answer us, really.
So how likely is it, do you think, that trainers are destroying their dogs?
I think some of them highly likely. Not all of them, but highly likely, yeah. Some will just destroy them because they don't want to pay a fee to a rescue to put them up for adoption. Others may destroy them just because they're not of any economical value anymore. So if they've got a broken toe, they're just not commercially viable. They're going to have to stop racing for a while they're being rested. They're taking up the space of a kennel that another dog that racing could be using.
What evidence do you have, if any, that Peter Harnden's done anything wrong?
While he cannot answer us about where his dogs are, obviously it's going to raise suspicions.
Have you asked him what he's done with his dogs?
We've had our advocates have asked the GBGB. We haven't had a decent response from the Greyhound Board of Great Britain.
Well, actually, we have, because the Greyhound Board of Great Britain have issued a statement about Mr. Harnden, and they say he satisfies the requirements of the rules, and he himself says he's followed correct procedures.
And what are they saying the procedures are, and what requirements has he satisfied? The GBGB will say that he's completed all the necessary paperwork. Because if the GBGB is saying that he has followed procedures by completing the paperwork for the dogs that we're claiming, may have been destroyed, well, then that's meaningless, really, because the forms do focus on euthanasia. So we don't know what he's written on these forms, and it still doesn't give us any clue to where the dogs are. They're not going to tell us. We don't believe they're going to tell us where these dogs are. And if they cannot account for them, then we have to presume that, a lot of them may be dead.
You might not like it, but it's not illegal to shoot your dogs, is it?
No, but it's immoral. It's completely immoral.
You might say so, but your morality might be different to mine or anybody else's.
Yeah, but we are classed as a nation of dog lovers. And while we're classed as a nation that maybe we shouldn't be, if that's the case.
So therefore, if you've got a problem with the law or with the rules, shouldn't you be going after the rules and the people who make them, rather than Peter Harnden of Ruddington, who, after all, followed the rules, as far as we can tell?
DEFRA held an inquiry in 2015, and it achieved nothing. We constantly lobby local authorities, DEFRA, the people who make these rules. The Animal Welfare Act of 2006 isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Is it not unfair, though, to go after this chap if he's followed the correct procedures and actually it's not even illegal to dispose of dogs if you have to?
No, it's not unfair because, at the end of the day, we're questioning the whole of the racing industry. We're just making an example.
So you're happy to make an example of one man?
Yes, the Greyhound Board claim that they care about welfare of the dogs, yet they've employed a man that cannot answer as to where his dogs are, and they've given him quite a prominent role as well on the boards. So we're happy to make an example of him, most definitely.
That is Rita James, the founder of the organisation Caged, which campaigns against the greyhound racing industry. Now, BBC Radio Nottingham has made several attempts to speak to Mr. Harnden. He didn't want to be interviewed, but said he'd complied with all the relevant regulations. For its part, the Greyhound Board of Great Britain has described the allegations made by Caged as mendacious, so untrue, adding that its members must register whether a retired greyhound has been rehomed or put down. It also says that Mr. Harnden has followed the rules.